Welcome back, Heels and Quads Media here on YouTube. I'm Tommy, and I'm back with the second in my Kiss tier list ranking of the songs from each album. As I said in the first video, I'm going to go through with this list, and then I'm going to rank the songs. But the catch is, I'm only going to rank the songs first that are in the classic tier. So all of the songs that made it in the classic tier from the first album, second album, so on and so forth, I'll probably break it down 70s, 80s, and I guess 90s, 2000s, 2010s, I guess I should say. And I'll do it that way, and then I'll put them all together in one video. Next up, we have the second album, as I said. From 1974, Kiss's second album of the year, Hotter Than Hell. Another one that's got its 50th anniversary coming up in October, and this was the second of the two albums produced by Kenny Kerner and Richie Wise. So I'm going to go through the order of the album, rank them from classic to great to good to meh to awful. And also, like in the first album video, the thumbnails for each song are a little hard to see. Luckily, I kind of previewed this list and went through and squinted my eyes to see what each thumbnail was which song. So, we'll kick it off with the first track from 1974's Hotter Than Hell. It's a Paul song, Got to Choose. Got to Choose is here, the live picture here. And Got to Choose is a weird song for me because I really enjoy it. I like a lot of the songs from this album. The production value, a lot of people have problems with the production value. I like it personally because it's got that real muddy, gritty, old school, just nasty Kiss. Like this, I love the production on the first three albums, and I think Dress to Kill out of the first three obviously is a little bit more polished. And it also helps that even some of the songs from Dress to Kill were written before Kiss was even Kiss, so that helps that album. But on Hotter Than Hell, I'm obviously a fan of the live versions, but the unplugged versions of the songs from this album, because you got to Choose, Going Blind, Coming Home. I think that's it. So we got a few songs on MTV Unplugged, which I love all those versions of these songs. But Got to Choose for me is one I've always liked it, but when Tommy and Eric joined the band, it felt like every tour they played it, and it got kind of old. And then, even the End of the Road tour, they didn't do it in the set, but they were doing it on every sound check. So it just kind of felt repetitive over the years. And it's not that it's not a good song or even a great Kiss song. This ranking is ranked classic, great, good, meh, awful. It's not based on, say, Let Me Go, Rock and Roll versus Walk This Way, or Coming Home versus, I don't know, You Give Love a Bad Name. It's not based on that. This is just Kiss. Say this Kiss is the only band I've ever heard in my lifetime. That's how I'm ranking this. So as far on the Kiss scale, Got to Choose for me, while it is I would say it's a staple because it's that early version, I'm going to rank Got to Choose as a great song. I like the harmonies on it. I like the melody. I like everything about it. It just, to me, I can't put it at classic for myself, and that's another thing. I'm ranking this my opinion, not yours, and tell me your opinion in the comments. Of course, like this video, subscribe, all that stuff, because I'm going to be doing Dress to Kill probably shortly after this, later this evening at time of recording. All right, So next up, we've got Parasite. Ace wrote it. Gene sings it. Kind of a back and forth lead vocal. Parasite to me. Parasite to me is a absolute bona fide Kiss classic. Honestly, it's not my favorite song on the album. I think Parasite is the best song on the album. So, and Hotter Than Hell, the album in itself, I did the album rankings. Spoiler alert, go back and watch that. I did the album rankings, and Hotter Than Hell was number 4 on my list. So obviously, I love this, and honestly, while I think the debut is a better album because of the songs and the iconicness of the songs, if that's a word, I listen to Hotter Than Hell more than I listen to the debut. I might listen to Hotter Than Hell more than Love Gun or Rock and Roll Over or Creatures of the Night. Hotter Than Hell, it's just something about it. It's got a vibe to it that I really like. Coming up next, we've got Gene on lead vocals. Obviously, this song goes back before Kiss. Going Blind is next up. And like I said, I am a huge fan of the unplugged version of this song. I don't know what it is about this song, Electric, that nudges it a little bit for me. But Gene's vocals on it are great. It's a different sound already for Kiss in only its second album. I'm going to put Going Blind as a great Kiss song. All right, next up, Hotter Than Hell. Title track. Hotter Than Hell for me, great riff, great vibe to it. Also, dig the song. Some of these I hate ranking. Hotter Than Hell. She looked good, she looked hotter than hell. All dressed in satins and lace. I'm gonna put Hotter Than Hell as a Kiss classic. I mean, it is the title track. I think it earns its spot as a Kiss classic. Next up, Let Me Go Rock and Roll. This song gets a lot of hate from people, but it has rock and roll in the title. It's fast paced. It's Ace's riff on it, just that continuous guitar on it, and Paul with the rhythm. I love it. I think it's a cool song. I like the lyrics to it. It makes sense. Rock and roll is a double entendre for making whoopee. So, Let Me Go Rock and Roll to me is an absolute Kiss classic. All right, we'll flip it over to side 2 on the turntable, and we will go All the Way, another Gene song. This is my absolute favorite song on Hotter Than Hell. Obviously, they didn't play it live very often, but I absolutely love this song. I think it is a great song. I will not put it at classic because I know a lot of people don't like this song, don't like the vibe of it, and just, I mean, if it was a classic, it would have gotten played a lot more. So I have to be fair. In my mind, I have to be fair. Next up, Watching You, another one, came back in the set in the early 90s with Bruce and Eric Singer. Watching You, you don't really know, doom doom diddle doom doom, another great riff. You don't really know what to do, wow 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 wow. I am going absolute Kiss classic. I love it. I wish more people that weren't fans of Kiss knew this song, because I think Watching You is right up there with Parasite on this album as probably a 1A, 1B punch as far as the best songs on the album. Next up, Mainline, Peter Criss on lead vocals. I really like this song, but I'm gonna put Mainline at just good. It's got a catchy riff to it. Peter's vocals are so good, especially coming off Black Diamond from the first album onto this and then Mainline. Next up, Coming Home. Prefer the unplugged version. I've said it in 1,000 videos that I've done on Kiss on this channel that I wish Coming Home would have either opened or closed this album. I think if you're going to give the ultimatum that you've got to choose to open, I think it ends well with, you know what, I've made up my mind, I'm coming home. I think that should end. Coming Home to me, you know, for the sake, I'm gonna put it at meh. It's not awful. It's not bad. It's just there. Chime in the comments again. Like this video. Subscribe. Chime in the comments. Tell me I'm crazy for thinking Coming Home is just a meh song. It's a good song. Closing out the album, Strange Ways. Ace written, Peter sang. This song is so fucking... It's got just a metal vibe to it. So, not just in that, but Peter's voice, the riff, the breakdown, everything about this is just, it's so, the groove in it is so, it brings it all together. Strange Ways to me, if you don't know Kiss enough to know Strange Ways, then you don't know that Strange Ways is an absolute Kiss classic. So there we got it. 5 classics on this album out of 10. So half of the album is absolute classic. 3 great, 1 good, 1 meh. Let me know in the comments again where you rank these songs on the tier. And stay tuned. Next up, I will be covering the 3rd Kiss album from 1975, Dressed to Kill. Until then, tell your friends, tell your enemies, and I'll see you next time.